Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Piotti and we'll be talking about social media mining and analytics. Social media is defined as a group of internet-based applications that is for creation and exchange of user-generated content. The advent of social media has been reinvented many elements of marketing, including the balance of reach and engagement strategies, and social media mining and analytics have really helped that. Marketers, such as myself, we have prioritized our quest to track the effectiveness of social media, though metrics haven't historically shared the same priority. For marketing, that ROI, that return on investment through social media, is extremely difficult to find. And it is that reach and engagement where we have moved into and using social media mining and analytics. Facebook and Twitter reports web data from approximately 149 million and 90 million unique visitors per month. YouTube, which shares that more than 4 billion videos are watched daily and 60 hours of video are uploaded every month. And web-based collaborative multilingual sites like Wikipedia host over 20 million articles, attracting over 365 million viewers. So different styles, there are several different categories. You have social networking services, social bookmarking services, social media news, blogging sites, VoIP software, media sharing services, and documenting sharing services. So how can big data help? 2 years ago, likes and followers were the metrics that drove social media marketing campaigns. And those metrics, we've deemed that they are pretty shallow. So our focus has switched to generating content and increasing the amount of engagement between businesses and their audiences. And big data can really help us implement more targeting marketing strategies, identifying promotions, tracking and responding to those promotions in real time, new product options, performing predictive analytics, and social media mining really processes a large amount of data. So social media mining is the extracting information from social media. Its primary objective is to effectively handle the large data, extracting actionable patterns and gaining insightful knowledge. Social media can expand a researcher's capability of understanding new phenomenons. And it's really not different than what you see from email marketing through open rates and click-throughs. Customers click or otherwise engage with the content, actively conveying their interest in the content. In social media, for analytics, it's all about reach, engagement, and impressions. Reach is simply measuring how many people had the opportunity to see your content and pass through it. And I'll be actually sharing Facebook as my example. So the reasons behind social media mining can help businesses driven by how can your user be heard? What sources of information is a user participating in? And how can we really improve that user experience? And all of these questions lie in taking that data that's being mined and using it to analyze and perform analytics. So some of the challenges that we have in social media is that social media can be really vast. It can be quite noisy. It's disturbed. It's unstructured. It's dynamic. And all of these really pose a challenge to data mining, and it has caused us to invent new efficient techniques and algorithms. And Facebook Insights is one of those that has really helped, because reach is becoming harder to metric and to track social channels because it's being extended beyond the respective streams. We're really having to be more creative in how to measure, as opposed to simply looking at it just against the native stream itself, so just that native post. So social media mining and analytics, it really captures the pulse of humanity. It uses social media mining and analytics. We can measure the effectiveness of content design to maximize engagement. And it really is as simple as looking at whether or not the content prompted is the response you were seeking. We use it for personalization, targeted marketing, suggesting choices, community analysis, sentiment analysis, social recommendations, and influence modeling. So this is one of my actual Facebook accounts. This is our university here at Xavier Bookstore, the All for One shop. Follow us. There's my plug for today. All for One shop. This is a page summary of the last 28 days. So the actions on the page from August 25th to September 21st really is the number of clicks that on our page contact or a call to action. The page views is how many times the page profile has been viewed. Previews is actually how many times you have hovered over the name. So just like what we saw in the Netflix, where they saw how many times you paused and hit play, social media analytics and social media mining is the exact same as that. Page likes is the number of new people who have liked your page. The reach is how many people have saw your post. And this one is if you've asked for recommendations. So if you've asked for a recommendation, how many people have recommended? Post engagement is the number of time people have engaged with your post through likes, comments, shares, or more. Videos, how many times you have viewed a video for more than 3 seconds. Again, there's that Netflix that we saw a couple of weeks ago. And page followers, that's the number of people who have followed your page. And you can actually break that even further down by paid or non-paid, age, gender, many, many, many different segments if you want to really dig down deep for the data. So the content, what resonates in content? It really depends on what your main goal is. But that reach and engagement is the equivalent to quantity versus quality. Reach costs more money and engagement is harder to obtain. Having a solid understanding of the brand and the objective can help choose which approach is best. And by using these analytics, you can see which one makes perfect sense to emphasize if it's a reach in an awareness campaign or more of an action-oriented campaign that will prioritize engagement. The shallow metrics that we've really started to pull away from because, again, that ROI, you really cannot see it. So if you're spending, like you see here on a flash sale, you're looking at $100 spent. It received 4,586 people. 187 of them were engaged. 25 clicked on the photos. 99 clicked on the link. 6 liked it. 2 commented. 4 shared. So how do you really find out if you got a return on an investment of that $100? Well, that's where you have to really dive deep into that analytics and see that click-through rate. And many companies that you'll see, like Coca-Cola, Gap, Disney, Starbucks, they have much higher engagement than those that are heavily like Salesforce, that are much more heavily just kind of B2B. So receptivity and reaching our core audience, you really want to look at the impressions tend to lead to more engaged users, while more engaged customers tend to share content, extending our reach. So we're realizing that over-targeting is what's really causing or restricting that ability to reach new audiences. So how do we overcome that? We actually drop targeting altogether. And you can see here that through our organic, that we are actually really doing a great job of reaching our audience. Now, when we targeted very lightly for this paid advertisement. We went friends of our page and their friends, and that's how we reached 5,000. If we would have dug deep and really went those who like Xavier, or those who like Xavier Musketeers, or those who were graduated from Xavier, it really would have limited our reach. So we try to find a middle ground between that mass reach and that segmentation targeting, and using analytics like this is really what helps. So you want to look at your reactions, your comments, your shares, and your more, and you want to see those spikes, and then you want to look at it and analyze it and go, what did you do on these days? And what can we do to recreate that over and over again? So we look at the behavior. Have our consumers demonstrated interest in a specific or related product area? The emotional aspect of it. Has a particular product or service suddenly become more relevant? And then are consumers posting emotional responses that suggest maybe they're becoming more receptive to our brand message? And then we really look at those moments. Has something triggered it? Weather, transportation, live events. Is it basketball season? Is Team 96 doing well in March Madness? All of those affect the reach in our core audience. So relationships is a huge piece of what we do. Engagement and reach go hand in hand. The more engaged influence your reach is the more page likes. It really does boil down to that. Reach, engagement. As with all advertising and marketing, our metrics to gauge of our success depend on what we're trying to accomplish. If we're trying to grow our fan base or get a certain post seen, the reach is where we want to use that paid advertising and use those analytics to see who we want to go at. What do we want to see? Are they pausing? Are they hitting play? Then if we're trying to build a relationship with our customers and using that behavior model, I'm going to use Netflix again, trying to make that on that bell curve, that number 9 or number 10, TV show. Do we have those that are brand loyalists that measure our purchase intent? We need to be paying attention to that engagement metric. So reach is just a really good indicator of how well we're getting our product or our name out there and into their news feed. But with today's oversaturation of information, reach isn't really enough. Just because our consumers saw the post in their news feed, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have brand recall. That purchase intent may indicate that we have a relationship with our customers, and that's where we really want to see new business in. So some of the key questions that I see out of this is, as social media networks evolve and expand, what happens to the priority of our marketing metrics? And then, do you think that social media analytics is an invasion of privacy, kind of like where we saw that Netflix or Apple or Google? And then, do you think that analytics for social media marketing is a useful tool for businesses to hit that ROI? And because we have such a hard time using social media analytics producing ROI, where do you see ROI at in analytics? These are just a couple of the resources that I've used. A lot of that I spoke about today is based on experience and being in the field for so long, but I definitely read every single day on social media analytics, what's trending new. At the beginning when I started, it was all about likes and shares and getting new people to follow you. In today's world, it's about using the personalization, the human behavior, and really trying to build that number one TV show. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I thank everyone for watching.